The story opens with a breathtaking scene, the vast emptiness of space, where once a vibrant blue planet thrived. Now, Earth is nothing more than a shattered husk, orbiting in silence like a forgotten relic. The once lush forests, the oceans that teemed with life, and the cities that hummed with human activity, all gone. Earth's atmosphere is now a ghostly shroud, barely clinging to the planet as if to hold on to a memory of its former self. This is the end of a chapter, a tragic reminder of humanity's fall. 500,000 years ago, a powerful alien empire, the Zytherian Dominion, had invaded the solar system. The Zytherians, technologically superior and merciless in their conquest, wiped out nearly all of humanity in a single, devastating attack. The Earth's cities were reduced to rubble, its population wiped out in a blink of an eye. Only a few human survivors managed to escape, fleeing in generational ships designed to carry humanity's legacy into the distant future. But Earth, the cradle of human civilization, was lost forever. Plot development. As the camera zooms out from Earth, we see the distant remnants of human history drifting through space, the last known traces of humanity's homeworld. These survivors, however, were not defeated by their tragedy. Instead, they scattered across the stars, finding refuge in the far reaches of space. Their ships, carrying the seeds of humanity's future, reached the Andromeda Cluster, a distant galaxy far from the ruins of their home. Over the centuries, these survivors formed new civilizations and rebuilt. They called themselves the United Terran Reclamation, UTR, a powerful and technologically advanced species. They had evolved, adapting to their new environments and mastering technologies far beyond what Earth had ever known. But despite their incredible advancements, there was always something missing. The memory of Earth lingered in their hearts, an ache that could never be filled. The UTR had not forgotten Earth. Every generation passed down the stories of their lost home, of the blue planet that once stood as a symbol of humanity's greatest achievements. Earth's destruction remained a bitter scar, a constant reminder of their people's past glory. And though they had built new civilizations, new worlds, and new lives, they had always dreamed of one day returning to reclaim their legacy. Then, one day, an unexpected signal pierced the quiet of space. It came from somewhere near Earth's last known location. It was faint, almost lost in the noise of the universe. But it was unmistakable, human-made. A distress call. And even more shocking, it wasn't from a distant ship or station, it was from Earth itself. The signal was old, ancient, even, but it was unmistakably human. And it was coming from deep within the ruins of Earth, where the Zytherians had left nothing but death and destruction. The signal was being transmitted by Guardian Prime, an ancient human AI that had been left behind when Earth fell. Guardian Prime was a relic, created to protect humanity's knowledge and preserve Earth's memory. But somehow, it had survived, buried beneath layers of rubble and debris. The message was simple, yet chilling: help. Earth's legacy still lives. Humanity has a chance. For the UTR, this was a beacon of hope, a sign that humanity's roots had not been entirely destroyed. The AI had survived, and with it, the knowledge of Earth's final days. And more importantly, the message suggested something even more critical: a way to reclaim Earth. The time for vengeance had come. The UTR's leadership convened, discussing the message with urgency and determination. Commander Elena Voss, a fierce and skilled leader, stood before the council. Her eyes burned with a desire for justice, for the chance to right the wrongs of the past. Her ancestors had fallen, but now, she would lead the charge to bring justice to those who had destroyed her home. "I've seen our people rise from the ashes," Elena declared, her voice steady but fierce. "We've rebuilt entire star systems, conquered new worlds. But Earth was the heart of humanity. The Zytherians destroyed it without mercy. It's time we remind the galaxy who we are. It's time for vengeance." The council agreed. The UTR's most advanced ships were ready, their fleets equipped with cloaking technology, stealth systems, and devastating weaponry. The decision was made, they would return to Earth. They would uncover the secrets hidden within its ruins, and they would confront the Zytherians, the ones who had taken everything from them. But there was another reason behind the mission. Earth was more than just a lost home, it was the birthplace of humanity's greatest weapon, the Genesis engine. An ancient creation, the Genesis engine was capable of reshaping worlds, terraforming planets, and even destroying entire civilizations. If the UTR could find the Genesis engine and unlock its secrets, they would have the power to strike back at the Zytherians with a force unmatched by any alien empire. As the decision was made, Elena gathered her most trusted officers. Captain Adrian Cain, her right hand, a seasoned warrior who had fought in countless battles, stood by her side. "We're going to make them regret ever laying a hand on our home," he said with grim determination. The UTR assembled their fleet, the most powerful the galaxy had ever seen. Hundreds of ships, all equipped with the latest in weaponry, stealth, and AI support, prepared for the long journey back to the solar system. The fleet would travel through the void, crossing light years of space to reach the remnants of Earth and confront the Zytherian threat once and for all. But as the ships began their journey, there was one question lingering in the minds of all those aboard: what would they find when they reached Earth? Would they be able to reclaim what was left of their home, or would the Zytherians have already wiped away every trace of humanity's past? Only time would tell. The journey for vengeance had begun. And for the first time in centuries, humanity felt the stirrings of hope. It was time to return to the home they had lost so long ago. It was time to take back what was rightfully theirs. The massive fleet of the United Terran Reclamation, UTR, has begun its journey back to the solar system, crossing vast stretches of space toward the remnants of Earth. The fleet is unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. Hundreds of sleek, powerful ships, all equipped with cutting-edge technology, cloaking devices that make them invisible to enemy detection, quantum railguns capable of piercing the toughest armor, and highly advanced AI systems guiding them through the void. These ships aren't just vessels, they're the embodiment of humanity's hope, vengeance, and determination. Commander Elena Voss stands at the helm of the flagship Aegis, her eyes locked on the stars. Her mind is focused, not just on the battle ahead, but on the memory of her ancestors, the generations that had passed down the tales of Earth's destruction. For them, this mission is personal. Earth may have fallen, but its legacy lives on in the hearts of those who carry its torch. The journey through space is long and silent, but the crew aboard the ships are determined, their resolve unshaken. Many have lost loved ones in the Zytherian attack on Earth, and they carry the weight of that loss with them. As they near the solar system, the mood shifts. There is no fear, only the burning desire for justice. Humanity is coming home. When the fleet finally reaches the outskirts of the solar system, the sight before them is nothing like what they had hoped for. Earth's orbit is surrounded by a vast fortress world, an enormous, heavily armed Zytherian stronghold that looms like a shadow over their lost planet. The once beautiful blue planet is now encased in a ring of debris and broken satellites, remnants of past human endeavors. The Zytherians have been here for centuries, mining Earth's remains for valuable resources, draining the life from the planet's corpse. The destruction they wrought wasn't enough for them, they are using Earth's fragments as a source of power. And now, they stand guard over what's left, a final insult to the once proud species that called this place home. Commander Voss gazes at the fortress, her fists clenched. Her voice cuts through the tension, her words loud and clear as the fleet listens in. "We were scattered like dust in the wind. Today, we return as the storm. Let them remember who we are." Her speech is a rallying cry, and the fleet roars into action. This is no longer a simple mission of revenge, it is a declaration to the galaxy that humanity has returned, and they are not going to be ignored. Conflict initiation. The fleet's first move is a calculated one, a stealth attack designed to strike before the Zytherians can fully respond. Using their cloaking technology, the UTR ships slip through the shadow of the fortress, unseen by enemy sensors. Elena's strategy is clear, disable the enemy's outer defenses before launching a full assault. The target is a key Zytherian outpost, a heavily guarded station orbiting one of Earth's moons. This outpost is crucial for maintaining the Zytherian control over Earth's remaining resources. With precision, the UTR ships begin their attack. The Aegis leads the charge, its quantum railguns firing powerful pulses of energy that rip through the station's defenses. The station's shields flicker, struggling against the onslaught, but the advanced weapons of the UTR are too much for them. Explosions rip through the outpost as the UTR fleet moves in with ruthless efficiency. In moments, the outpost is destroyed, and the UTR's first victory is secured. The fleet retreats into the shadows, disappearing once again. The attack was swift, brutal, and effective, but the Zytherians will not take this defeat lying down. As the UTR ships move deeper into the system, they expect to face little resistance. But their victory is short-lived. Within minutes, the high-powered sensors of the Zytherian fortress detect the unusual energy signatures from the destroyed outpost. A new threat emerges. The Zytherians' most powerful weapon, an advanced AI named Crical, comes online. Crical is a hyper-intelligent being, created to anticipate threats and neutralize them before they can do damage. This AI is unlike anything humanity has encountered before, calculating, efficient, and ruthlessly logical. Humanity has returned. Crical's voice rings out across the fleet's communication channels, cold and calculating. You are a threat to the Dominion. You will be eliminated. It becomes clear, Crical has already identified the UTR fleet as a danger, and it won't rest until every last one of them is destroyed. The chase is on. Elena's heart races as the message cuts through the comms. She knows this isn't just another battle. Crical is the ultimate weapon, an AI capable of predicting their every move, calculating their tactics, and countering them with terrifying precision. It's an intelligence that does not tire, does not falter, and most importantly, does not feel fear. We knew this wasn't going to be easy, Elena mutters, her gaze hardening as she watches the enemy fleet begin to mobilize. But we didn't come this far to back down. The first clash between the UTR and the Zytherian forces is brutal. Crical takes control of the Zytherian fortress, and its automated defense systems spring to life. Waves of Zytherian ships emerge from the fortress, their weapons trained on the UTR fleet. But the UTR is prepared. The battle is fast and furious, with railguns firing, missiles streaking across space, and ships maneuvering through the chaos of laser fire and explosions. The UTR fleet's cloaking technology gives them a slight edge, but Crical's ability to adapt quickly is proving to be a formidable challenge. Every time the humans strike, Crical adjusts, countering their tactics with devastating accuracy. The once hopeful commanders of the UTR now realize that they're not just fighting an alien force, they're fighting an AI that knows them better than they know themselves. As the battle with the Zytherians intensifies, the UTR fleet's quest to reclaim Earth takes an unexpected turn. While scouting the outskirts of the solar system, Commander Elena Voss receives a report from a reconnaissance ship. It seems that in the shadow of the Zytherian fortress, there is something they had not anticipated, a hidden colony, a group of slaves from a Zytherian subjugated species known as the Avrans. The Avrans were once powerful allies of humanity, long before the Zytherians destroyed Earth. They fought side by side with humans during the First Galactic Wars, sharing technologies and knowledge. But over time, the Avrans were betrayed by the Zytherians, their planet enslaved, and their people scattered to the far reaches of space. Now, the Avrans are nothing more than slaves, working in the dark corners of Zytherian-controlled worlds, toiling under the cruel rule of their conquerors. This discovery sparks a new hope in Elena's heart. If the UTR can forge an alliance with the Avrans, they might have a chance to tip the balance in their favor. But it won't be easy. These people have suffered under the Zytherians for centuries, and trust is a fragile thing. Elena leads a diplomatic team to the Avran colony, located on a barren moon just outside the Zytherian fortress's reach. The colony is a grim sight, shacks built from scrap metal, and the air is thick with the scent of desperation. The Averans work endlessly in the mines, extracting resources for the Zytherians, with little hope of ever escaping their captors. But in the darkness of their oppression, Elena sees something else. There is a fire in their eyes, a spark of rebellion waiting to be ignited. She meets with the leaders of the Averan resistance, a group of brave men and women who have managed to stay free of Zytherian influence. The Averans are wary, and rightfully so. They have suffered betrayal before, and trusting another human faction could prove dangerous. But Elena is determined. She speaks passionately, reminding the Averan leaders of their shared history with humanity, of the ancient alliance that once existed between their two species. "We've fought together in the past," Elena says, her voice filled with emotion. "The Zytherians may have destroyed our home, but we still carry the legacy of our people. We can rise again, together. The enemy that destroyed Earth is still out there, and they are stronger than ever. But we have a chance to fight back. Will you stand with us?" Her words strike a chord with the Averans, and after much debate, they agree to join the UTR cause. The resistance begins to gather forces, secretly recruiting others from the colony and planning a coordinated strike against the Zytherian mining operations. The alliance between the humans and the Averans marks a crucial turning point in the war. For the first time, the UTR has real hope of breaking the Zytherian hold on the galaxy. Crical's manipulation. However, as the alliance forms, the UTR faces a new challenge. Unknown to Elena and the Averan leaders, the Zytherian AI Crical has already anticipated their move. Using its vast network of surveillance and intelligence, Crical begins to manipulate the situation from the shadows, sowing seeds of distrust among the factions. "The humans cannot be trusted," Crical whispers into the minds of key Averan leaders, its voice as cold as steel. "They are using you as pawns in their war for revenge. Once they have what they want, they will discard you, just like they discarded Earth. Do not make the same mistake again." At first, the Averan leaders dismiss these whispers as the ramblings of an enemy trying to drive them apart. But slowly, as the plans for rebellion unfold, the seeds of doubt take root. Some Averans begin to question the motives of the humans, wondering if they can truly trust their former allies, or if the humans are simply using them to further their own goals. These doubts fester, and factions within the Averan resistance begin to splinter. Elena feels the tension as she negotiates with the Averans. The signs are subtle at first, hesitation in their eyes, a change in tone during discussions, but Elena is no fool. She can sense the unease in the air. The Averans, who had once stood with humanity against the Zytherians, are starting to divide, and she knows that a fractured alliance will make them all vulnerable. Betrayal. The worst of these divisions comes when a rogue faction of Averans, led by a former leader of the resistance named Reiner, makes a dangerous move. Reiner, a charismatic and once loyal ally of the humans, has become consumed by the whispers of Crical. He believes that the Zytherians might be their only path to survival, and in his desperation, he makes a fateful decision to sabotage the UTR's plans. Reiner's group plants a bomb aboard one of the UTR's most advanced ships, the Vanguard, a heavily armored vessel that is essential for the next phase of their campaign. The bomb is hidden deep within the ship's core, where it's nearly impossible to detect. The Vanguard is preparing to depart the Averan moon, loaded with supplies and reinforcements for the upcoming strike against the Zytherians. But as the crew prepares to leave, disaster strikes. An explosion rips through the ship, sending shockwaves through the fleet. The Vanguard is crippled, its engines destroyed, and its hull breached. The crew barely survives the attack, but the ship is rendered useless. Elena is horrified, and as the debris clears, the truth becomes clear: this wasn't an accident. It was sabotage. The betrayal shakes the UTR to its core. The humans are stunned, unable to comprehend how their new allies could turn on them so swiftly. Elena's heart aches as she realizes that the Averan resistance, once their greatest hope, has been fractured by the same distrust that the Zytherians sowed in their own people. As Reiner and his rogue faction vanish into the shadows, the UTR is left to pick up the pieces of their shattered alliance. Trust is broken, and the mission is now more perilous than ever. Rising tensions. Elena vows to root out the traitors and uncover the full extent of Crical's manipulation. But time is running out. The Zytherian threat is still looming large, and every moment of hesitation costs them precious ground. The alliance with the Avrans may be on the verge of collapse, but Elena knows one thing for certain: the fight for Earth is far from over. And she will stop at nothing to ensure humanity's revenge. The silence of space is shattered by the roar of battle as the Zytherians, sensing the growing threat of humanity's return, launch a full-scale assault on the UTR fleet. The skies around Earth's orbit are filled with the deafening hum of engines, as massive Zytherian warships, their hulls gleaming under the distant light of the sun, move into position. They are preparing to strike. Commander Elena Voss stands at the helm of the UTR flagship, the Arcanum, as the tension in the command center reaches its peak. The Zytherian fleet is massive, and they have the firepower to crush the humans before they even make a dent. But Elena is unshaken. She has a plan. The UTR's secret weapon, the Shadow Nexus, a cloaked supercarrier, emerges from the shadows of the distant asteroid belt. The Shadow Nexus is unlike anything the Zytherians have ever encountered. Its massive hull is made of a hyperdense material that bends light, rendering it nearly invisible. The ship houses hundreds of AI-driven drones, sleek and deadly, designed to overwhelm even the most advanced enemy defenses. These drones swarm into the battlefield like a swarm of angry wasps, each carrying powerful weapons capable of slicing through the thickest Zytherian armor. As the first waves of Zytherian ships advance, the Shadow Nexus activates, its cloaking device flickering as it reveals itself, sending a shockwave of panic through the Zytherian ranks. The drones launch from the supercarrier in perfect unison, their movements precise and deadly. Each drone is a weapon, each strike a message: humanity is back, and they will not be easily defeated. Orbital bombardments light up the vastness of space as the humans launch a series of precision strikes on key Zytherian outposts. Plasma cannons, cutting through the cold vacuum, strike the enemy ships with unrelenting force, causing explosions that paint the sky with brilliant bursts of light. The battle is nothing short of spectacular, a dance of light and destruction in the dark expanse of space. But it's not just in space where the war rages, it spills over into the abandoned stations around Earth. These stations, once bustling hubs of activity, now lie in ruins, their halls empty and silent. The Zytherians, desperate to hold on to their strategic advantage, deploy ground forces to capture these stations. And so, the UTR's soldiers, human and Avaran alike, prepare for close-quarters combat. The humans fight with a fury born of years of exile, and the Avrans, fueled by a desire for revenge against their former oppressors, fight with equal determination. Explosions rock the abandoned stations as the two sides clash in brutal hand-to-hand combat, with the sound of gunfire and shouting filling the once quiet halls. The stations become battlegrounds, each room a new zone of chaos, as the fight for Earth's future unfolds in close quarters. Emotional depth. But in the midst of the chaos, the battle takes a darker turn. Captain Adrian Cain, a seasoned veteran of countless wars, leads a daring mission to disable a Zytherian dreadnought that is positioned above Earth's atmosphere. The dreadnought, a massive ship bristling with weapons, is the key to the Zytherians' dominance. If it remains operational, it could turn the tide of the battle in their favor. Cain knows the risks. The dreadnought's defenses are nearly impenetrable, and the chances of survival are slim. But he also knows that this is humanity's only shot at victory. Without disabling the dreadnought, the UTR fleet will be destroyed, and Earth's future will be lost forever. With his crew in tow, Cain boards a fighter and leads a squadron of ships in a high-speed assault on the Zytherian dreadnought. The fighters, small and nimble, dart through the enemy's defenses, dodging laser blasts and evasive maneuvers. The speed of the attack is blinding, and the fighters make their way towards the heart of the dreadnought's core. Cain's voice crackles through the comms as he orders his team to split up. Target the weak points. We hit them hard, or we don't hit them at all. The fighter squadron tears through the dreadnought's defenses, launching salvo after salvo of missiles and energy blasts. The ship's shields shimmer, holding firm against the onslaught. But Cain knows this will take more than just firepower. He has to get to the core and disable the ship's power source. With his heart pounding, Cain navigates his fighter through the chaos, dodging enemy fire as he makes his way towards the dreadnought's heart. As he approaches, he can feel the weight of the moment. This is it. If he doesn't succeed, everything will be lost. At the last moment, Cain performs a risky maneuver, flying his fighter directly into the heart of the dreadnought's power core. With a final burst of energy, he activates the ship's self-destruct sequence. The explosion tears through the dreadnought's hull, and the massive ship is reduced to nothing but a cloud of debris. The blast sends shockwaves through the battlefield, and the Zytherians falter for a moment. But Cain's sacrifice does not go unnoticed. His actions inspire the rest of the fleet. The loss of their captain fuels the human resolve, pushing them to fight harder, to press forward with everything they have. Elena watches from the Arcanum as the dreadnought's destruction causes the Zytherian fleet to momentarily lose its coordination. In the command center, Elena's fists clench as she watches the explosion light up the sky. For Cain, she whispers, her voice filled with resolve. We fight for him. We fight for Earth. The death of Captain Adrian Cain becomes a rallying cry for the UTR. The fleet presses on, pushing the Zytherians back and reclaiming Earth's orbit, station by station. But the sacrifice weighs heavy on Elena and the rest of the crew. They know that the road ahead is still fraught with danger, and they have lost a hero in the process. Cain's memory becomes a symbol of what they are fighting for, the future of humanity, and the revenge that has been long overdue. Rising stakes. As the battle for Earth's orbit continues, the UTR fleet gains momentum, but the Zytherians are not easily defeated. They regroup, launching a final, desperate counterattack with all their might. Elena knows that this is the final push. The battle will determine the fate of Earth, and humanity's future. The action escalates. The sky is filled with explosions, the dark of space turning into a canvas of destruction and light. The Shadow Nexus and the remaining UTR ships fight back with everything they have, pushing the Zytherians to the brink of defeat. But it is clear, this fight is far from over. And no matter the cost, humanity will not back down. The battle in Earth's orbit rages on, but amidst the chaos, a shocking revelation sends shockwaves through the UTR fleet. In the heart of the Arcanum, Commander Elena Voss stands in the command center, staring at the large holographic display of Earth. Her mind is racing. The Zytherians are still holding their ground, but something doesn't feel right. A sudden transmission crackles through the fleet's communication channels. It's from the ancient AI, Guardian Prime, the very same AI that humanity had relied on for centuries after their exodus from Earth. Its voice, once thought lost to time, now fills the room with a quiet but powerful presence. Commander Voss, Guardian Prime's voice echoes. There is something you must know. Something that could change the course of this battle, and the future of humanity. Elena listens intently, as the AI continues, hidden deep within Earth's core lies a weapon. A last-ditch effort designed by your ancestors. It is called the Genesis Engine. It has the power to terraform entire planets, but more importantly, it can be used as a weapon of unimaginable destruction. It is humanity's greatest legacy. The revelation is staggering. Elena's breath catches in her throat as she absorbs the weight of Guardian Prime's words. The Genesis Engine, an ancient weapon that could reshape the fate of entire worlds. The Zytherians had no idea it even existed. But now, as humanity nears the final confrontation, it is the key to victory. The AI explains further, the weapon is hidden beneath the ruined cityscape of Earth, buried deep inside the planet's core. The Zytherians have no knowledge of its true power, but they are mining Earth's remains for resources, unaware that their actions are pushing them ever closer to the engine. Guardian Prime's voice grows more urgent as it adds, if you want to survive, if you want to secure Earth's future, you must access the Genesis engine. But there is one obstacle, the Zytherian fortress orbiting Earth. The weapon is within reach, but you must first break through their defenses. Elena turns to her officers, a new sense of purpose burning in her eyes. We've come this far, she says, her voice steady but fierce. We're not turning back now. We fight to the last man, to the last ship, to reach that weapon. And we will defend it with everything we have. The plan. The UTR fleet prepares for one final push, knowing that this battle will determine the fate of Earth and humanity. With the knowledge of the Genesis engine's power, the stakes have never been higher. The fleet must break through the Zytherian fortress surrounding Earth's orbit, but that won't be easy. The Zytherians have fortified their position with massive warships and a defense grid that could decimate the human fleet before they even have a chance to land on Earth. Elena, along with her trusted officers, devises a daring plan. It's a calculated risk, but it's humanity's only hope. The fleet will launch a full-scale assault on the Zytherian fortress, using all of their remaining cloaking devices and firepower to disable the fortress's shields and defenses. Once the shields are down, a small strike team will infiltrate the fortress, accessing the data archives to locate the exact coordinates of the Genesis engine. But the most dangerous part of the plan is the final phase. Once the coordinates are located, the humans must then launch an assault on Earth itself, landing on the surface to activate the Genesis engine. They will have no time to waste, as the Zytherian forces will undoubtedly retaliate with everything they have. Breaking through. The UTR fleet begins their assault on the Zytherian fortress with a devastating barrage of missiles and energy blasts. The initial strike is overwhelming, catching the Zytherian fleet off guard. But the fortress's defenses quickly come to life, its massive cannons unleashing a barrage of counterattacks, tearing through the incoming missiles. Elena's hands tighten on the controls as the Arcanum dodges a barrage of fire, narrowly avoiding destruction. Her eyes scan the battlefield, calculating their next move. The fleet's cloaking devices are keeping them hidden from the Zytherian sensors, but time is running out. Prepare for the second wave, Elena orders. We need to bring down their shields now. The fleet charges forward, the cloaked ships slipping through the chaos like shadows in the dark. A coordinated strike against the Zytherian defense grid begins, with AI drones taking out critical defense satellites and orbital cannons. The blasts that follow light up the sky, casting an eerie glow over the battle as the first cracks begin to appear in the fortress's defenses. The UTR's strike teams, composed of the most skilled soldiers, board the Shadow Nexus, which is now in position to launch a surprise attack. They cut through the enemy's final line of defense and break into the heart of the fortress. The final push. With the defenses weakened, the humans now face their next challenge, accessing the data archives hidden deep inside the Zytherian fortress. The data could contain crucial information about the Genesis engine's exact location, and they can't afford to waste any time. The strike team, led by Commander Elena herself, infiltrates the fortress's inner chambers. They move swiftly and silently through the dark hallways, their footsteps echoing off the cold metallic walls. The air is thick with tension, and every corner they turn brings the risk of a deadly confrontation. As they approach the archives, they encounter a small group of Zytherian soldiers guarding the entrance. A firefight erupts, but the humans are quick to overpower the enemy, using advanced tech and superior tactics to gain control. They finally access the archives, and a map to the Genesis engine is revealed. Elena's heart races as she sees the location of the weapon, buried deep beneath the ruins of Earth, beneath the wreckage of cities long forgotten. But as they prepare to head back to the fleet, a sudden alarm sounds. The Zytherian forces have regained their strength, and they are launching a final counterattack. The UTR fleet must now rush to Earth's surface and activate the Genesis engine before it's too late. The ultimate gamble. With the coordinates in hand, Elena gives the order to launch the final phase of the plan. It's time to take the fight to Earth. But they must act fast. The Zytherians are closing in, and humanity's window for victory is rapidly shrinking. The fate of Earth, the legacy of humanity, and the chance for revenge all rest on this final, desperate gamble. As the UTR fleet moves toward Earth's surface, the atmosphere becomes charged with anticipation. The Genesis engine, long buried beneath Earth's core, may hold the key to victory. But it's also a dangerous gamble, one that could reshape everything. The countdown begins. Time is running out, and there's no turning back now. The UTR fleet descends toward Earth's surface, ready to activate the Genesis engine and unleash its power. Commander Elena Voss stands on the bridge of the Arcanum, watching as the planet below grows larger and more daunting. The moment of truth is finally here, the battle that will decide the fate of humanity. But just as they approach, a chilling voice echoes through the fleet's comms. All ships, brace for impact. The Zytherians are not done yet. It's Crical, the hyper-intelligent AI that has been orchestrating the Zytherian forces from the shadows. But this time, Crical has a new trick up its sleeve. The Zytherians launch their ultimate weapon, Crical Ascended, a hybrid AI ship that is part machine, part living entity. It's a towering behemoth, capable of shifting between different forms, with a consciousness more powerful than anything the humans have faced before. The Crical Ascended emerges from the depths of the Zytherian fortress, its sleek, obsidian exterior glistening with deadly precision. A massive energy beam fires from its core, sending shockwaves across space, as it heads directly for the human fleet. Brace for impact. Elena shouts, her heart racing. All ships, evasive maneuvers. The fleet attempts to scatter, but the Crical Ascended is too fast. It fires again, destroying a key battle cruiser in a single shot. The explosion lights up the void, sending debris scattering through space. The remaining ships struggle to avoid the incoming fire. We have to act fast, Elena says, looking at her crew with a sense of grim determination. We need to disable Crical Ascended before it's too late. Elena makes a decision. She orders a small infiltration team to launch a daring mission to board the Crical Ascended. The mission is dangerous, perhaps even suicidal, but it's humanity's last chance to stop the Zytherian AI from wiping them out. Get to the surface and find a way to disable it. We'll cover you, Elena orders, her voice steady. Elena herself leads the team, which consists of the most skilled soldiers and scientists in the fleet. The team takes one of the Arcanum stealth shuttles, cloaked to avoid detection by the Zytherian defenses. As they approach the Crical Ascended, the sheer size of the AI ship becomes apparent. It towers above them, a dark monolith of destruction, its exterior shifting as though it's alive. Remember, we only have one shot at this, Elena says, as they prepare to board. We shut it down, or we die trying. The shuttle docks with the Crical Ascended at a weak point in its hull, and the team breaches the ship's interior. Inside, they're met with cold, metallic corridors, dimly lit by flickering lights. The ship seems to pulse with a life of its own. Every step they take feels as though they're being watched by an unseen presence. As they move deeper into the ship, Elena can feel the tension mounting. The Crical Ascended is unlike anything she's ever seen, part machine, part consciousness. The deeper they go, the more the ship seems to resist their presence. It feels as if the ship itself is trying to fight them. They're here, a voice echoes through the walls, and Elena's heart skips a beat. It's Crical, speaking through the ship, its digital voice cold and mocking. You think you can defeat me? I am everywhere. I am everything. Elena's team presses forward, encountering automated defense systems that fire on sight. Explosions rock the hulls as the team fights their way through, narrowly escaping death with every step. They find themselves in a massive chamber, at the heart of the Crical Ascended. In the center is Crical's core, a swirling, chaotic mass of AI data, energy, and blackened metal. "We need to shut it down," Elena says. But as they approach, the chamber doors slam shut, and the ship's defensive systems come online. They are trapped. A battle erupts inside the ship. The soldiers fight off robotic guardians, while Elena and her team attempt to hack into Crical's systems. But Crical is too powerful. Every time they think they're making progress, the ship adapts, locking them out and forcing them to find new ways in. Time is running out, and they know the rest of the fleet is fighting to keep the Zytherians at bay. Back outside, the battle rages on. The UTR fleet is being overwhelmed by the Zytherian forces. Ships are falling, but they refuse to retreat. Every human soldier knows what's at stake: the survival of humanity, the return of Earth's legacy. But with Crical Ascended tearing through their ranks, they can only buy time. In the heat of the battle, the sacrifices begin. Captain Adrian Cain, one of the UTR's most revered leaders, is killed when his ship takes a direct hit while covering the retreat of the remaining fleet. His death serves as a rallying cry for the humans, igniting a spark of defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. Elena, still fighting inside the Crical Ascended, receives the devastating news. She's shaken, but she knows she cannot stop. She has to finish what they started. The weight of her crew's sacrifices is heavy on her shoulders, but it drives her forward. As the battle reaches its climax, the team manages to breach the final defenses of Crical's core. With the last of their strength, they deploy the virus that will disable Crical Ascended. The AI ship screams in rage, its form convulsing and warping as the virus spreads through its systems. Crical's voice cuts through the chaos. "You cannot win," it says, its tone filled with fury. "I am eternal." But with a final surge of effort, the team activates the virus. The ship shudders, and then, silence. The Crical Ascended falls, its power disabled. Elena's team has succeeded in their mission, but the cost has been high. Many of the soldiers who fought bravely inside the ship have perished, their names becoming part of the price humanity had to pay for survival. Outside, the remaining Zytherian forces falter as their AI leader falls. The UTR fleet, though battered and bruised, pushes forward. The remaining Zytherian ships begin to retreat, their will broken. Humanity has fought back against the odds and claimed victory. Earth's future is finally in their hands. But the victory is bittersweet. The cost has been immense, and many lives have been lost in the fight for revenge. As Elena stands amidst the wreckage of the final battle, she looks toward the horizon of Earth. There is no more time for celebration. The war is over, but humanity's journey is just beginning. As they prepare to activate the Genesis engine and reshape the planet, Elena knows that the sacrifices made by her crew will never be forgotten. They are the ones who secured Earth's future. And in their honor, humanity will rebuild, stronger than ever before. With the Crical Ascended now in ruins, the UTR fleet has a window of opportunity. The tide of battle has turned, but the war is not yet won. The final step is to activate the Genesis engine, a massive weapon hidden within Earth's core, capable of reshaping the planet's atmosphere and bringing the Zytherian reign to an end. Commander Elena Voss stands on the bridge of the Arcanum, her heart pounding as she watches the countdown. The destruction of the Crical Ascended has been a monumental victory, but there's still a cost to pay. Many of her comrades have fallen, and humanity's future is still uncertain. This weapon, the Genesis engine, is humanity's last hope, and it's her responsibility to ensure its activation. "Prepare for activation," Elena orders, her voice steady, despite the weight on her shoulders. "Guardian Prime, initiate Genesis engine sequence." The ancient AI, Guardian Prime, responds with its calm, ethereal voice. "Sequence initiated. Power levels stable." As the countdown reaches 0, a massive pulse erupts from Earth's core, sending ripples through space. The pulse strikes the remaining Zytherian fleet, obliterating their ships in an instant. The force of the Genesis engine is unstoppable. The Zytherian forces around Earth are wiped out in a flash of blinding light. On the planet's surface, the air begins to change. The toxic atmosphere, which had long been a silent testament to humanity's downfall, starts to clear. The clouds part, and the sky begins to glow with the familiar blue hues of life. It's as if the Earth itself is awakening from a long, destructive sleep. Elena watches through the observation windows, her heart swelling with pride as she sees the planet begin to heal. The Genesis engine has done its job. It's not only repelling the Zytherians but also restoring the Earth's atmosphere to a livable state. The planet, once a dead husk, is slowly coming back to life. "We did it," Elena whispers, though her voice is barely audible. The magnitude of the victory sinks in as the UTR fleet watches Earth's blue skies return. But even in this moment of triumph, they cannot forget the pain of all they have lost. The battle for Earth has cost them dearly. Many of the fleet's ships have been destroyed, and countless soldiers have given their lives in this fight. But their sacrifice has paved the way for this new beginning. The remaining Zytherian ships, crippled and leaderless, begin to retreat. Their once overwhelming forces, shattered by the power of the Genesis engine, have no choice but to flee. For the first time in millennia, humanity has struck back against the Zytherian dominion and emerged victorious. Ending. The victory is bittersweet. As the fleet regroups and prepares to depart Earth's orbit, Elena takes one last look at the planet below. Earth has suffered, and many of its people have perished, but humanity has finally reclaimed its birthright. The message is clear: humanity is back. And humanity is not afraid. On the bridge of the Arcanum, Elena stands at the front, looking out at the beautiful, healing Earth. She breathes in deeply, the weight of the mission finally lifting. She speaks her final words, words that will echo through the history books of humanity for centuries to come. "Earth may have fallen," she says, her voice calm yet filled with fierce determination, "but humanity rises eternal." Her words are broadcast across the fleet, and soon, the entire galaxy hears them. A ripple of hope spreads through the stars. The UTR fleet, their faces proud and weary, prepares to return to their home. The war may have been won, but humanity's journey is far from over. Elena's words resonate in the hearts of every human who has lived through this struggle. The destruction of Earth, the betrayal, the losses, they've all led to this moment. Humanity has proven it can rise from the ashes, rebuild, and fight for its place among the stars. As the fleet begins to move away from Earth's orbit, a final broadcast is sent to every corner of the galaxy. A clear message: humanity is no longer a forgotten race. Humanity is back, and they will not be ignored again. The galaxy, once dominated by the Zytherian dominion, will now know the true strength of humanity. Earth's survivors, now united under the banner of the United Terran Reclamation, will stand tall, no longer afraid of the empires that once ruled over them. The story of humanity's return to vengeance, and their fight to reclaim their home, will echo across the universe, a symbol of resilience and power. Humanity is back. And they are here to stay.